You are not ready for what Saraya just said about Rhea Ripley. This might be the beginning of something massive. If WWE actually pulls the trigger on this, we could be looking at one of the most historic matches in women's wrestling ever. Yeah, that's a bold statement, but you'll see why. Because what Saraya hinted at in a recent interview has fans speculating, fantasy booking, and even debating backstage politics. And Rhea Ripley? She's right in the center of all of it. Let's rewind for a second. Saraya's story isn't just another wrestling career, it's a saga. From wrestling in dingy UK halls before she was even 18, to breaking into WWE and becoming the youngest Divas champion in history, she was never supposed to make it this far. And yet, she did. She was the face of a new era. She was gritty. She was different. She didn't look or act like anyone else in the locker room. And for a while, WWE leaned into that. They let her be raw, unpredictable, intense. But the rise came with a price. Years of pushing her body past the limit finally caught up to her. In 2018, a neck injury brought it all crashing down. Just like that, Saraya was out. Done. The girl who wrestled her entire life suddenly couldn't. Now here's the part most people forget. She didn't leave WWE right away. She stayed. She hosted, managed, appeared on panels, but every appearance had that same vibe, like someone trying to smile while being haunted by what they'd lost. Vince McMahon? He moved on. New talent came in. The division evolved. But Saraya was still around watching, waiting, hoping. Then Triple H took over creative. Suddenly, that door cracked open again. There were talks, meetings, possibilities, but for whatever reason, timing, money, creative differences, it didn't happen. Instead, Saraya went where nobody expected, AEW. It was a move that shook the internet. Her return to the ring alone was a huge story, but let's be honest, it never really clicked. She had a decent run, won the AEW Women's title at All In, cut some solid promos, but the momentum? It never hit. Her matches felt off, the chemistry with other talents wasn't there, and even fans who loved her started wondering if this comeback was a mistake. But now, she's back in headlines, and it's not because of AEW. It's because of one name, Rhea Ripley. On the Before the Bell podcast, Saraya was asked that classic question, if you return to WWE, who would you want to face? Without skipping a beat, she said Rhea Ripley. She said they'd make a great tag team, that she admired her, that there were so many women she wanted to wrestle, but Rhea was top of the list. Now that might sound innocent, harmless, just another wrestler answering a fantasy question. But if you've been around long enough, you know what that really means. In wrestling, nobody name drops like that unless there's at least some level of interest behind the scenes, especially not Saraya, who's been careful with her words for years now. And here's why that name drop sent the internet into a frenzy. Because Rhea Ripley isn't just doing well, she's dominating. She's become the face of the modern women's division, from NXT UK, where she first caught fire, to NXT proper, where she became a champion, then onto the main roster where she exploded in popularity. Rhea's ascent has been relentless. Her run with the Judgment Day? Career-defining. Her matches? Consistently top tier. Her presentation? Immaculate. She's young, powerful, and everything WWE loves in a top star. So when Saraya says she wants to face her, that's not just respect, that's a challenge. And the match itself? Think about the stakes. Saraya, the anti-diva, the rebel, the original rule-breaker. Rhea, the nightmare, the unstoppable force, the woman who tore through every challenger WWE threw at her. Their paths are different, but their impact? Strikingly similar. And here's the part nobody expected. Saraya didn't just say she wanted to face Rhea, she said she'd team with her, form a tag team, create a unit. And while that idea lit up fans on Twitter, not everyone's sold. Some insiders argue it's a waste, that Rhea Ripley doesn't need a tag team partner. She's too big, too dominant, and frankly, that pairing might actually diminish both of them. Saraya herself hinted at this. She said Rhea doesn't need the rub. She's already established. A mentor-mentee dynamic with Rhea doesn't make sense. But you know who could benefit? The rest of the roster. Saraya openly said she'd love to work with younger stars, not just to wrestle, but to guide them, help them, be a force backstage, the way veterans like Natalya and Mickie James have been for years. Imagine Saraya tagging with someone like Roxanne Perez, or Gigi Dolan, or even Zoe Stark. letting them soak up the spotlight while she slowly builds their confidence with experience. That's smart booking. Because make no mistake, Saraya is not the same person she was when she left WWE. She's different now. She's survived addiction, injury, heartbreak. She's found new passions, written a successful autobiography, rebuilt her image, and most importantly, she's found peace. She's no longer desperate to wrestle. She's not clinging to the ring like a lifeline. Wrestling isn't her identity anymore, it's just part of who she is. And that's a powerful place to be in. Because now, every match means something. Every promo hits harder. There's no pressure to prove anything, just the freedom to tell the story she wants to tell. And if WWE capitalizes on that, they could strike gold. Bring her back for special feuds, dream matches, let her go toe-to-toe with women she never got to face before, let her talk, let her teach. Let her do what AEW never fully let her do, be Saraya. There's also this angle no one's talking about. Saraya's promo work in AEW was arguably the best part of her run. She leaned into the heel character. She embraced being hated. She played the arrogant outsider who thought she was too good for everyone else. And it worked. Her matches? Hit or miss. But her promos? Fire. That's a side of her WWE fans never really got to see. Imagine that version of Saraya walking back into WWE. Cocky, experienced, gritty, facing off with someone like Bayley, or Bianca Belair, or even Becky Lynch. You've got instant fireworks. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Right now, WWE is hungry for return pops. They've been building toward surprise moments, comeback stories, nostalgia done right, and if they want to pull in older fans, while still elevating the new guard, Saraya is the bridge between eras. She's still young, only 34, but she's got a veteran's mindset, and she's finally healthy. That makes her rare, that makes her valuable. And that makes her return a very real possibility. But here's the question, will she actually do it? She's still a free agent. She's not signed to WWE. She's not signed to AEW either, at least not publicly. She has options, and she's exploring them. Modeling, acting, podcasts, business ventures. She doesn't need wrestling anymore, but maybe, just maybe, she still wants it. Because when you listen to her speak about Rhea, about the current WWE roster, there's love there, there's unfinished business, there's still fire in her voice. She doesn't talk like someone who's done, she talks like someone who's ready for one last run. And if she steps through the curtain one more time, and the lights hit her, and she stares across the ring at Rhea Ripley, you better believe the crowd's going to explode. Because it's not just nostalgia, it's not just hype, it's earned. It's two titans, two eras, two careers filled with chaos, controversy, and redemption colliding in one ring. WWE needs that moment. Wrestling needs that moment. And fans, we're begging for that moment. So the only real question left is this. Will Saraya walk back through the fire? Or will this dream match stay just that, a dream? Time will tell. But if it happens, remember this moment. Because the second her music hits, the entire landscape shifts.